By the end of this video, you are going to look at that box of 4 to 5 ACP sitting on your shelf and ask yourself why you keep buying it out of habit. 8 rounds are quietly outperforming the round John Moses Browning built in 1904. And every single one of them solves a problem the 4 to 5 simply cannot. The one closing out this list turns a standard 1911 into something the 4 to 5 ACP was never built to compete with. We'll get there. Let's be straight about something first. The 4 to 5 ACP is not a bad round. A 230 grain bullet at 850 to 900 feet per second, delivering 360 to 460 foot-pounds of the muzzle, has ended more fights than almost anything else in a pistol case. It earned its reputation the hard way, through 2 world wars and a century of service. But proven and still the best tool for the job are 2 different claims. And the ammunition industry has spent the last 3 decades quietly proving it, mostly by attacking the 4 to 5's own weak spot. It was designed around 1900s pressure limits, 21,000 psi, because that's what the metallurgy of the era could handle. 8 rounds are cashing in on that gap right now. Let's break them down. First up, 30 Super Carry. Federal built this round to answer a simple question. What if you couldn't add capacity to a compact pistol without shrinking the cartridge first? The answer was a 100 grain bullet at 1250 feet per second, generating 347 foot-pounds at the muzzle. That's within striking distance of standard 4 to 5 ACP energy, out of a bullet less than half the weight, in a magazine that holds 2 to 3 more rounds than a comparable 4 to 5 in the same size grip. The catch is real. Ammunition options are still thin, mostly federal, and you won't find it on every gun store shelf yet. But if capacity in a compact frame is your priority, this round already does something the 4 to 5 physically cannot. Next, 5.7x28. FN built it for NATO, and for years it lived behind expensive, hard-to-find pistols. Then Ruger dropped the Ruger 57 for well under $400, and this cartridge became a real option for the rest of us. A 40 grain bullet leaves a 5-inch barrel at around 1700 feet per second, flat enough to hold a point of aim well past most handgun engagement distances. 20 rounds in the magazine, 21 in the gun. Here's the honest trade-off. Energy sits around 250 foot-pounds, well under what the 4 to 5 delivers, and terminal performance is still debated in the community. Would you trust 20 rounds of 5.7 over 8 rounds of 4 to 5 for personal defense? Drop your answer in the comments, because that argument isn't settling down anytime soon. Now the one that challenges the 4 to 5 on cost and control instead of raw power. 9mm. In a modern optics-ready platform like the Springfield Hellcat Pro. 15 rounds in the magazine, 16 in the gun, running around $650 to $700 retail. I know a range officer in Tennessee who carried a full-size 4 to 5 for over 20 years and finally switched to a 9mm micro-compact last season. So the only thing he missed was the noise it used to make on the counter when he set it down. The honest edge is simple. Round for round, it still doesn't hit as hard as the 4 to 5. But if the fight comes down to accurate hits under stress, more rounds and less recoil wins more often than raw energy does. Round 4. And this one doesn't require a new gun at all. 4 to 5 Super. Same external dimensions as your 4 to 5 ACP brass. Same magazines. Same gun. Just a thicker case wall built to handle more pressure. Parts that run under $50 total. And a 185 grain bullet leaves the barrel at 1300 feet per second, generating right around 700 foot-pounds. That matches a standard 10mm load, out of the 1911 you already own. The honest weakness is where a steady diet of 4 to 5 Super will beat up a standard weight slide and frame faster than factory ammunition. But for $50 in parts, this is the cheapest real power upgrade on this list. 5th, and this is the one almost nobody talks about anymore. 400 Corbon. Take that same 4 to 5 ACP case, neck it down to a 40 caliber bullet, drop in a replacement barrel for under $150, and you are running a 135 grain bullet at 1450 feet per second for 630 foot-pounds, numbers that match or beat a standard 10mm load, out of a stock weight 4 to 5 ACP frame. No new magazines, no new gun, just a barrel and possibly a heavier recoil spring. The honest catch, and it's a real one, is ammunition. Factory loads run close to $1 a round when you can find them at all, and most shooters who try this cartridge end up hand-loading or shelving the barrel after a few range trips. It's a brilliant idea that never found a market, but the ballistics are not in question. 6th, and this is where the 4 to 5 starts genuinely losing the argument on power without needing a workaround. 10mm auto, a Glock 20 Gen 5, with the MOS cut, runs as low as $576 right now, chambering a cartridge that operates at 37,500 psi against the 45's 21,000. A 180 grain bullet at 1,100 to 1,300 feet per second generates 484 to 676 foot-pounds at the muzzle, 50 to 70% more energy than a standard 4 to 5 load, with full-power hunting rounds pushing past 700. 15 rounds in the magazine instead of the 4 to 5's typical 8 to 10. The honest weakness is recoil, roughly 50% more felt recoil than the 4 to 5, and follow-up shots take real practice to keep fast. I'll say it plainly, at this price and power level, there is no defensive argument left for a standard pressure 4 to 5 ACP. 7th, and this is the one nobody at your range has ever fired. 50 GI. Guncrafter Industries built this cartridge specifically to keep the felt recoil of a standard 4 to 5 ACP while putting a true half-inch diameter bullet on target, a full 100 thousandths wider than the 4 to 5. Pressure sits around 15,000 psi, lower than the 4 to 5 itself, and a 1/8 to 5 grain jacketed hollow point leaves the barrel at 1,200 feet per second for close to 600 foot-pounds. A Glock conversion unit lists around $600 and drops straight onto a Glock 20 or 21 frame. The honest catch is availability. Guncrafter is the only source for the ammunition, running over $2 a round, and if they ever stop production, that gun becomes an expensive paperweight with a 5-inch barrel. Last one, and this is the payoff. 460 Rowland. This isn't a new cartridge chasing the 4 to 5. It's the 4 to 5 weaponized. Take your existing 1911, drop in a Clark custom conversion kit for around $360, and you're running a 230 grain bullet at 13 to 1400 feet per second. That is true 4 to 4 Magnum territory, out of a platform you probably already own, using the same magazines you already have. First time I saw a 460 Rowland conversion put a slug through a half-inch pine board and keep going, I walked over and checked the exit hole twice. The 4 to 5 ACP is not supposed to do that. The honest trade-off is real. You need a heavier recoil spring, a compensator, and a fully heat-treated slide, or you will beat your gun to pieces. Here's the honest bottom line. The 4 to 5 ACP isn't a bad round. It's an old round wearing 1900s pressure limits into a modern fight it doesn't have to lose. Want capacity without losing much power? 30 super carry. Want flat trajectory and a full magazine for under $400. 5.7x28. Want cost and control over raw energy? A modern 9mm micro compact. Want a real power upgrade for $50 in parts on the gun you already own? 4 to 5 Super. Want 10mm numbers from a barrel swap instead of a new gun? 400 Corbon. Want a full step up in a dedicated platform? 10mm. Want something nobody else at the range has ever shot? 50 GI. And if you already own a 1911 and want it to hit like a hand cannon, 460 Rowland turns that same gun into something else entirely. If any of these change how you think about that box of 4 to 5 sitting in your safe, drop your pick in the comments. I read every single one, and this community's field data matters more than any spec sheet. Hit that subscribe button on Guns and Geeks. Real specs, real gear, zero fluff. And if you've been on the fence about converting your 1911, that fence just got a lot shorter.